Introduction to PYP Social Studies Scope and Sequence. Social Studies Scope and Sequence 4. Figure 1. An explanation of the Social Studies Scope and Sequence content. The first column comes directly from the sample program of inquiry and includes the transdisciplinary theme title and descriptor and the central idea. The key and related concepts and lines of inquiry are also listed here. This encourages schools to keep in mind the transdisciplinary nature of learning and reminds them that they should utilize the subject-specific concepts, knowledge and skills to support learning that transcends the confines of the subject area. The second column lists the social studies strands applicable to this unit of inquiry. Full social studies strand descriptions are found in the introduction to the scope and sequence document. The possible learning outcomes in column 3 have been developed to reflect the knowledge, concepts and skills from columns 1 and 2 as well as being developmentally appropriate for the intended age group. They also take into account the attitudes and the attributes of the learner profile and transdisciplinary skills, reflecting a less is more principle. The number of learning outcomes has been carefully considered and limited in terms of what is achievable and accessible in each unit of inquiry. This box notifies users when possible learning outcomes for science have been developed for this unit. These outcomes can be found in the PYP Science Scope and Sequence 2008. The second column lists the social studies skills that have been identified in the subject annex of Making the PYP Happen, a curriculum framework for international primary education. 2007. Those social studies skills that might be easier to teach and observe for each unit are marked in bold text. Social Studies Scope and Sequence 5. Overall expectations in Social Studies 3 to 5 years. Students will explore their understanding of people and their lives, focusing on themselves, their friends and families, and their immediate environment. They will practice applying rules and routines to work and play. They will gain an increasing awareness of themselves in relation to the various groups to which they belong and be conscious of systems by which they organize themselves. They will develop their sense of place and the reasons why particular places are important to people. They will also develop their sense of time and recognize important events in their own lives and how time and change affect people. They will explore the role of technology in their lives. Social Studies Scope and Sequence 6. Social Studies Scope and Sequence 3 to 5 years. Learning will include the development of the following.